see. Okay.
These ayat. Can you see it?
Kind of.
Okay, let me make it bigger. Okay. Again, Bismillah, Bismillah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وآية لهم أنا حملنا ذريتهم في الفلك المشحون وخلقنا لهم من مثله ما يركبون.
Okay. So go further, please. وَإِنَّ شَاءَ.
Sorry, my mic was mute. وَإِن نَشَأْ نُغْرِقْهُمْ فَلَا صَرِيخَ لَهُمْ وَلَا هُمْ ينقذون إلا رحمة منا ومتاعا إلى حين. وإذا قيل لهم اتقوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آية من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين. وإذا قيل لهم أنفقوا مما رزقكم الله قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا أنطعم من لو يشاء الله أطعمه إن أنتم إلا في ضلال مبين.
Excellent. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Okay, so today we are just focusing on the translation, and inshallah today we are going to do translation and the rest of the things next time. So the ayat 41 translation is, and a sign for them is that we bear their offspring in the ladenship. When you read through this, do you have something in your mind? What could be the ladenship? Ladenship?
Like a ship for the sea?
Yeah, ship for the sea. So historically, आपको कोई कुछ याद आता है?
The flood when the Prophet Noah was sick.
Excellent. So most of the tafsir, in most of the tafsir, you will see this fulfilled mashhoon. Fulfilled mashhoon is referred here. This laden ship, which is referred here, is of Nuh alayhi salam. So a sign for them. Again, you know, remember in ayat number 13 to 32, we learned the signs in the history of the humankind. Remember, 3 prophets came, and that story was from the history. Then from ayat number 33 to 40, in Surah Yasin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminded of the signs in the nature, signs on earth and in the upper space. Okay, remember. So from ayat number 33 to 40, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminded people about the signs in nature. And in nature means on earth and in the universe, like beyond earth. If you go in the outer space, you see like sun, moon, and revolution of Earth around its axis, and the coming of coming of day and night in succession. So all these things were mentioned in Ayat 33 to 40. So these are ayat from nature. Now again, the ayat is the ayat or the signs are coming from the history. Okay, so from history it is referred that remember remember that we rescued the whole of the offspring of Nuh alayhi salam. Not only offspring of Nuh alayhi salam, but the animals they were bearing, right? Every
Yeah.
a pair of every animal species, right? So this is a sign that in history Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has rescued them. So this is for pointing to this is referring to a thing in the history. Then the second ayat, and we have created for them similar vehicles, means for transportation on which they ride. Now it's a general aspect of that sign. Like suppose in human history, Nuh alayhi salam, suppose Nuh alayhi salam made the first ark, first boat in the history of humankind, right? So then other vehicles were also made, like people invented other things, other means of transportation also, right? So these things that you use for transportation, in turn, obviously, who made human, who created human and their brain and their like all the qualities, who created?
Allah.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in turn, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enabled us to make these vehicles and other things. Like even nowadays, if we apply this ayah nowadays, now we have aeroplanes and like bullet trains and like so many means of transportation. And these are created by humans, who is in turn the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And because of the laws of physics, like the laws of physics are laid by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When he created the universe, he laid all these laws of physics, and with with these laws of physics, people were able to apply mechanics, apply mechanical rules of mechanics, and invent these different means of transportation. Okay. Now, Ayat 43. Had we wanted, we could have drowned them and nothing would have been able to help or rescue them. It's referring to which?
The flood.
What event? This ayah is referring to what
The
event?
flood.
The major flood and the laden ship.
Yeah.
Nuh alayhi salam ki kishti, Noah's ark. Had we wanted, अगर हम चाहते तो उनको भी वो भी खुदा ना खास्ता वो भी drawn हो जाते, ठीक है ना? We could have drawn them and nothing would have been able to help or rescue them. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like Allah, the flood came with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? But with just like before flood, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspired Nuh alayhi salam to make a huge ark, right? So अगर अल्लाह सुब्हान ताला का मंशा होता, अगर होता तो वो भी डूब सकती थी, but अल्लाह सुब्हान ताला rescued all the people on the boat, and like humans, who the believers, and Nuh alayhi salam, and all
Their
the
offspring.
yeah, obviously then offspring also. And then acha, so over here, this is a continuation of the sentence. Though ayat number is different, but this is the continuation of the sentence. We could have drawn them and nothing would have been able to help or rescue them, except our mercy, which could enable them to enjoy themselves for an appointed time. So this is like understood के सिवाय अल्लाह ताला की मर्सी के he is so merciful, he rescued them and enabled them to enjoy the rest of their life. Okay, then ayat number 45, when they are told, guard yourself against what is before you and what is behind you, so that you may be shown mercy. They turn away. Every time they are told, guard yourself against what is before you and what is behind you, so that you may be shown mercy. They turn away. Every time they turn away. This is implied. They turn away is implied in the sentence. Okay. This is not coming from exact wordings, but it is, the kalam is saying that every time they are reminded of that you should take heed and you should comply with the instructions of Allah, what is there in Allah's book, but every time they don't follow the instruction, they don't take heed, they don't like. So that's implied in this sentence. Ayat number 46.
Indeed, not a single sign from their Lord's signs come to accept that they turn away from it.
Except that they turn away from it. So every time, like this is happening again and again, again. The people who are reminded of the sign, like of these signs, whether in the history or in nature, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly tell these things in the revealed books, like books of Revelation, or the prophets, the messengers, they remind people of these things. Every time they are reminded, not a single time is there when they had not turned away from it. Not a single instance that they had not turned away from these reminders. And when they are told, this is balagha कि हर दफा जब भी उनको नसीहत करते हैं वो नहीं मानते. It's not like ऐसा नहीं होता कि बिल्कुल नहीं होता. We know that कि कुछ तो बहुत ही few people they believe in prophets. Like few people believed in Nuh alayhi salam, but most of them, like most of them, 95-98%, they did unke paas jab bhi, like a huge proportion of the people who were reminded, every time they were reminded of any sign, every time they were reminded of a thing, they rejected. So that is about those few individuals, and they not few, like major proportion of the people. We know that Nuh alayhi salam preached for 950 years, but only few people believed in him. Okay, so बाकी के जो सारे लोग थे वो उनको जब भी कोई साइन रिमाइंड कराई जाती थी, जब भी उनको नसीहत की जाती थी, they always turned away. Ayat number 47.
And when they are told, spend from the bounties which Allah has provided you, the disbelievers say to those who believe, shall we then feed those whom, if Allah had so willed, he would have fed himself? Alas, you are in nothing but manifest error.
So do you understand this conversation? Can you say it in your own word? What did you understand?
Like when they are told, like
when they are told, जब उनसे कहा जाता है, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell them to spend from whatever you are provided with, जो भी नेमतें, जो भी bounties आपको मिली हैं, spend in Allah's way. ठीक है? Whatever Allah has provided you, whether food, whether money, whether knowledge, or any other thing. Like share whatever you have got with the people who don't have, right?
Yeah.
Who don't have these things. तो क्या होता है कि disbelievers क्या कहते हैं? The disbelievers say to those who believe. Disbelievers उनसे जो कि मुसलमान हैं, जो मुस्लिम हैं, जो believers हैं, उनसे क्या कहते हैं?
Shall we feed those whom, if Allah had so willed, He would have fed Himself?
Himself. तो
Alas, you are in nothing but manifest error.
ये क्या कहा? उन्होंने कहा कि हम why should we feed them? अगर अल्लाह ताला ने उनको खिलाना होता तो वो अल्लाह ताला खुद उनको प्रोवाइड कर देते, यानी कि हम पुअर पीपल को क्यों खिलाएं? अल्लाह ताला खुद उनको रिच कर दे। सिंपल मीनिंग, ठीक है ना? लेकिन अल्लाह ताला ने तो बनाया ही, अल्लाह ताला की हिकमत ये है कि बनाया ही इस तरीके से कि कुछ को रिच बनाया, कुछ को पुअर बनाया, ये देखने के लिए जो कि रिच जो हैं वो पुअर का ख्याल रखते हैं। Are they thankful what they are provided with? Are they thankful? और वो शेयर करते हैं। और पुअर का भी इसमें वो है, टेस्ट है। पुअर पीपल का भी टेस्ट है। पुअर पीपल का टेस्ट ये है कि आर दे पेशेंट इनफ? वो ऐसा तो नहीं कि स्नैच कर लेंगे, कि जिनके पास बहुत सारी चीजें हैं वो स्नैच ना करें, बल्कि बी पेशेंट। ठीक है ना? समझ में आ रहा है आपको? So this is a test of patience and thankfulness. जो rich हैं वो are they thankful? Are they obliged? और जो poor people हैं वो जो है are they patient enough? वो जो है ऐसा तो नहीं कि वो स्नैचिंग कर रहे हैं या वो लोगों से जो रिच पीपल हैं उनसे ले रहे हैं। ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है? चोरी कर रहे हैं। ठीक है, सो दिस इज, ये तो अल्लाह ताला ने इसलिए पुअर और रिच का डिफरेंस बताया है। लेकिन जो लोग डिसबिलीवर है ना, उनको समझ में नहीं आता कि ये जो डिफरेंस है वो इस वजह से है कि आपके पास अल्लाह ताला ने दिया है, आप शेयर कर लें।